This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Friday, November 7th, 2025. And it's also the sixth day of the week, Yom Shishi, the 16th day of Cheshvan in the year 5786. And today is also the anniversary of the passing, known as the yard site of Shlomo Carlebach, or Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, a rabbi, and he was known as Reb Shlomo, or the singing rabbi, a very inspirational, warm, charismatic singer, musician, and he was known to draw people by his warmth and his charisma and his Hasidic storytelling. And today is the day of his passing on the Hebrew calendar, the 16th of Cheshvan. It's now over 31 years ago, it's in 1994, October 20th of 1994, which was a different Gregorian date, but the Hebrew date is today. Today, that Hebrew date appears. This is a PL-89. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar, which is both lunar and solar. So it takes the Gregorian and the Hebrew, and it puts them in one calendar. And not only that, but it has the Julian calendar, which is 13 days behind the Gregorian calendar. So if today is, today is November 7th, so then minus 7, so that'd be like October 31st, let's say, and then minus 6 more, so let's say around October 25th today is on the Julian calendar. So you see that we're closer now to the date of back then. Those, not exactly, then it was October 20th, it's 5 more days, but the point of the Julian calendar in this calendar is it's a plus or minus 13, meaning if you're on let's say, let's just say on the Hebrew calendar, you do 16 minus 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it would be, this is very interesting. We're actually on 25 here, box 25. And it is October 25th. So that's a very fascinating thing. It doesn't always happen that way, but so the Julian calendar, the purpose of it is that when it was brought in when the Gregorian calendar, the one we have today, was brought in, 11 days vanished from history. And this seeks to hold that in balance. Those 11 days because when they made the correction, they said this is the new date, and this date corrected 11 days, and then it was already 11 days ahead. And numerically, now there were just the amount of time was the amount of time, no matter what you call it. But numerically, to account for those missing days, this calendar can be useful. Why we need to account for it, that I'm still finding out, but it accounts for it. So today you could say it's the 25th. But anyway, but that's the Hebrew. But I apply the Julian concept to the Hebrew as well. So I do not only do a minus 13 on the solar, which is just meant for, but I do minus 13 on the Hebrew as well. And in this case, it showed something very interesting. But one point I like to make about this calendar, there's different points, there's so many rules and concepts that are interplaying with each other, but sometimes I just, say a few of them. But today, this might be some of them seem to be very simple, but they seem interesting and mystifying to me. It might just be, like I said, simple arithmetic, but the concept, it brings forward something about the knowledge of the number itself. In this case, the 16th of Cheshvan, or the 16th of any month, because if you look at it, it's a very generic calendar. It doesn't have names of months on it. It applies to every month the same way. It's just a set 90 days. I mean, this grid is 80 days plus 10 days of an invisible 10-day twilight period, is what it's called. And there's you don't see July, August, September. You don't see Nissan, ER, Sivan. You don't see any names of months. You know they're already implied. That when you start on the grid, you know what month it's starting on because it's based on the dispensation. So this is just going to be Cheshvan. It's going to be November. It doesn't matter. And it goes November, and then it goes as it goes forward, and then we're in the dispensation. You just go in that order. So when you get to the 16th day of any month, this is the example I was trying to give, then you're going to be actually on box number 16. And that shows something very special about the number 16. And you might think, well, of course, why wouldn't you be? It's not like that. I mean, there's a reason why it wouldn't be. Because it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't go in order. It goes 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9. And then at the number 40, then it cuts off and resets again. So, for example, here it goes 8, starts 8 plus 9 is 17, 25, 34. 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 8 is 25, plus 9 is 34, plus 8 is, it would be 42, but not 42, it goes to 2. So 34, 2, 11, 19, 28, 36, 5. So when you finally get to 16, you're actually on 16. That's very significant. It doesn't happen that way. I mean, when you get to 8, it's 28. It's kind of close, but it's not 8. 16, you actually get to 16. And very simply, you could say that 2 times 8 is 16. Yeah, I know that, but it's it doesn't. I mean, if you write 1 through 8 and then 9 through 16, it would get to 16. This is going 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, and cutting off at 40. So, I guess that system of cutting off at 40 and 8 plus 9, it comes out to the same thing as if I wrote 1 through 16, but it still shows something significant about the number 16 to me. And you have that with different numbers. You have that with 14 as well. That in the second part, when it gets to the number 14. So that would also equally point out something about 14. But anyway, the 16 to 16. And it's also, there's something interesting about number 16 that I use the Torah as a reference point. And 16 was a certain amount, a weight in the incense. And the incense used in the temple, Ketoret. Mishkal Shisha Asar Maneh. Tanaraban, Pitu Torres Kesan, Shlosh Minos Rishim sorry, Zaporan, Helban Alona, Mishkal Shivim Maneh. More Ukitsia, Vishibolas Nerd, Vicharkom, Mishkal, Shisha Asar Maneh. It weighed 16 Maneh. These particular ones. More Ukitsia, more like myrrh, Ukitsia is cassia, I think they said. Shibolas Nerd, spikenard. Vicharkom, Vicharkom, some days saffron, because curcumin. But anyway, why was it 16 weight? So I'm inclined, and it says the other weight was 70 for the other ones. So on the calendar, I'm seeing 7, 16. I see the same pattern. So 70, 16, but the zeros are, arrangeable. You can just move them around. So 716, it's like 7016, isn't that Torah? But there's other things that are 16 as well. But suffice it to say, 16 is a bunch of stuff. 16 is with the agalot, the wagons. So there were 16 amos, I think. 16 was also the ramp of the altar. 16 is a bunch of stuff. So when I see that, then I say, there's something significant about 16 being spelled out here. Yeah. So on the Gregorian calendar, we're on number 19. So 19. 19. Not sure what to say about 19 today. So I guess we'll just leave that here for now.